NET presents A Conversation with Muhammad Ali with Bud Collins, columnist with the Boston Globe.
Quite an athlete across from me. He used to be named Cassius Marcellus Clay Jr., and his business was prize fighting. As a fighter, he became, in my opinion, and certainly in his own, the greatest. At the age of 25 now, he calls himself Muhammad Ali, and he's unemployed as a fighter. His title is gone, ripped away by various boxing commissions in the name of patriotism. He's been sentenced to 5 years in prison for refusing induction to the United States Army. 8 years ago, he stood on a podium in Rome. An American flag blowing in the breeze, the Star-Spangled Banner being played. He was given a gold medal as an Olympic champion. People thought, here's a kid with a bright future, and he was known as the so-called credit to his race. He had talent in the ring, and he had maybe more talent outside of it. He loved ballyhoo. He loved putting on the nation with a great put-on that he was the greatest. He maybe was the greatest poet since Robert Frost. At least he had more of his poetry published, saying, Archie Moore must go in for, things like that. But then the day after he became champion, he turned off a lot of the country by revealing that he was a convert to a religious sect known popularly as the Black Muslims and formerly as the Nation of Islam. And that antagonized a lot of the American people. So now his principal role is as a Muslim minister. He's had a varied career, an exciting, bizarre, celebrated career, and now perhaps a discouraging career. Or is it discouraging right now with this 5-year sentence?
No, sir, I would say what I'm doing now is more encouraging, and I get more out of it than boxing. Boxing was only for self-gain, just beating up one of my brothers or somebody else's brother for money, possibly hurting them for life, which I didn't intend to do, and I'm lucky I never really did. But I would say I'm getting more pleasure out of lecturing at the various Muslim mosques, converting so-called Negroes.
You're a minister of the Muslim faith.
Yes, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. We preach his teachings throughout America to our people. And I enjoy this much better than boxing. If I didn't, I would still be boxing. I chose this over boxing.
What about jail? Now, you're appealing, is that correct?
Oh, yes, jail. That could come up, and if I should lose the appeal, then I'll have to go to jail, and I'll be out of there in a few years.
Have you thought about jail, what it might mean? Have you talked about people who've been in jail 5 years?
Well, we are taught by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad that black people actually have been in jail for 400 years. We've been here in America. But I don't worry about jail. If I believe in Allah, I believe in Elijah Muhammad as the messenger of God, and many great men have to go to jail. And so I don't pay no attention to it. If the time comes, I'll just have to go. Boys in Vietnam are dying for what they believe, and I can't get on them for dying for what they believe, so I'll just have to, and they're dying to free foreign people 10,000 miles away, so I'll just have to suffer so that the so-called Negroes could be free, so they could have idol and an image they can look up to that didn't sell them out.
Do you think you can do more for your people by going to jail?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes,
There's
sir.
a report that your manager, Herbert Muhammad, advised you to enter the Army. Is that true?
No, sir. No, sir. He couldn't do nothing like that. Everything I do is of my own. He couldn't advise me to go to the Army. When did that report come out?
That report was in a New York paper about 2 weeks ago.
No, I didn't. This is just rumors. They can't believe that I'm this strong. They thought they would weaken me and put fear in me by threatening me to go to jail and taking my earning power. And they won't let me work in America. The government won't let me leave America where I can work. And I'm getting stronger, and this shakes up a lot of people to see that I'm this strong. It also makes other so-called Negroes strong who are facing the same problems. And in this way, I think I can do more for my people. They've never had a big black man that just stood up and identified with the struggle of his people 1,000%. Once they can get them a white girl, a blonde, a brunette, or $100,000 home, or a show on Broadway, usually every Negro watching this show now will tell you that you can't talk to them. They're too big to be with their own people. They go marry other than their own kind, and I'm so happy and proud to become great in boxing, to become the greatest one that that ever lived. The greatest.
You're still the greatest.
Yes, sir. The greatest boxer that ever lived. I'm the first one that they had to take a title from in the history of all of the red, white, and blue American title. I'm the first one that they tried to make the world believe that wasn't the champion, and never has been beaten.
What about this title now, Ali? If you're in jail 5 years,